hello.
Movie moment you want to forget?
It has to be in the vein of, Star Wars coming out again in the next couple of months. It has to be Revenge of the Sith. Now, when I was younger, like every single child that grew up with the prequels, they loved The Phantom Menace. The Phantom Menace was a great time when I was 3, and it was still a great time. And to be honest, even if I lie to myself a lot, it's still a great time right now. But even when I was younger, when Attack of the Clones came out, I knew that was bad. I was 6, and I was in the cinema with my mum and dad, and I was like, what has he done, George? What have you done? And then Revenge of the Sith came out. I'm, gearing towards a darker kind of Star Wars. This is meant to be the rise of the Empire, the death of the Jedi. This is the moment that you see whiny Hayden Christensen become James Earl Jones Darth Vader. That's amazing. And, I was kind of here for all the darkness when I was 9. I thought, this is quite, it's there. I think there are definitely problems with Revenge of the Sith, but to me, what really kind of crystallizes everything wrong about the prequels is literally the moment, you've just had the amazing potentially over choreographed sequence between Obi-Wan and Anakin when they duel on Mustafar, which I think is great. Ewan McGregor acts his heart out in that scene. It's really good. And then Palpatine fishes up old Darth from the lava, and he's like, "Come here, my boy." And then he robotifies him, and then he's there like, as soon as he transforms into Darth Vader, the first line isn't, "Oh yeah, I'm really evil now. I'm the nightmares of all your childhood come to life." It's, "Where's Padme? Where's Padme?" And then Palpatine's just there like, "It seems as though in your anger you killed her." And he goes, "No! No!" like that. And it is the worst thing ever, because you've got Darth Vader who literally walks in A New Hope, hands on his hips, and then chokes a guy out, and I'm like, "Ooh!" And then in that bit where he's like, "I find your lack of faith disturbing," he does that. But in Revenge of the Sith, all he does is go, "Where's Padme? No!" And it's, honestly, it ruined Darth Vader for me up until Rogue One came out and made him scary again. But yeah, like, George, what were you doing? I'm sorry, it was bad. It was bad when I was 9, and it's bad when I'm this age currently. I'm 23.
Well, it has to do with The Dark Knight Rises, because like a lot of people, The Dark Knight blew my tiny mind out of its skull, because I was so obsessed with that movie. It got me back into superheroes, loved it to bits, obviously. I was excited for the follow-up, which came out after a stopgap release of Inception, which was also awesome. I was fully on the Chris Nolan hype train. I was fully in the Batman mythos, and I was waiting for this film to drop. And I remember going to the cinema on the day it released, and it was the most tense thing ever, because I was so scared that I would get spoiled and something bad would happen. And I went to the cinema and I was really enjoying it. I know a lot of people don't like this movie. I think it's at least a bit disappointing when compared to The Dark Knight, which is perhaps inevitable. But I was sat there in my seat and absolutely loving every single second of it. I didn't even mind that the twist of Marion Cotillard's character being Talia al Ghul was, the most obvious thing in the world. That was fine. I was loving it. I loved that Batman got his back broken. None of the plot points, none of the plot holes mattered much to me at all, until we got to the moment where Marion Cotillard's character dies. It is one of the most underwhelming deaths in anything ever. It sucked the drama out of my body and into the ether. It just dissipated everywhere, and my investment was suddenly gone, because she kind of just does this. She has like a little line, and then she goes, eh. like she's in a cartoon or something, and it's so strange, and it's like, did they not have another take? Surely Chris Nolan, who is this perfectionist and does everything, so meticulously, they must have had another take. Is that the best one they had? If that is, then something's gone terribly wrong. So that kind of wobbled the ending for a bit, and this is a sort of two-parter. And then you get the lovely ending sort of, montage of wrapping up all the plot points, which is really satisfying, until you get to the moment when Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character is going up to, I think it's like a clerk or someone, and she asks him his real name, and he says, Robin. Like Batman and Robin. Like the cartoon show, like the comic books. He is Robin without a suit, because you can't have Robin. That's somehow too dumb for Chris Nolan. You can't just have him there properly, so you gotta pay lip service to it. And I just thought that was sort of unneeded. Those were two moments that just sort of, I don't know, they took some of the wind out the sails of that movie, and I think, for me personally, it would have been stronger without them there.
There was a few movies that I've never walked out of a film except for one, and that was the Clash of the Titans film, which I spoke about before, and I really just didn't enjoy that. But it's not the memory that I actually want to forget about, like, cinema in essence. It's actually in the X-Men canon, and it's X-Men Origins Wolverine. I just want that entire film wiped from my memory, because I felt like it was a complete waste of time. Not only was it just a really bad use of the license, Hugh Jackman turned in a serviceable performance, but he was given a script that was absolute dog dick. And it was just like, it was a lot of action, but no substance whatsoever. The worst bit, however, about the entire thing is the fact that it gave us promise of what could have been. It gave us a Gambit scene, and obviously we've been waiting for Gambit for ages, and knowing that that's the only time he's appeared on screen in any sort of major capacity, it's just depressing. So I, much like Wolverine, would like to take the bullet to the head, in a metaphorical sense, and forget that movie.
Right, so my choice is one that's not necessarily a bad thing, which I think should be wiped from my memory canon, but a good one, which I'd like to experience fresh again, because I think it is exceptionally good, which is Fight Club. Because Fight Club, as much as it is quintessential film student, I know film, smoking like a cigarette with a cigarette holder sort of thing. And that was me growing up, that was me as a teenager, like, have you heard of this film called Fight Club? I loved it. I thought it was absolutely fantastic, and I didn't see the twist coming at all in it. Obviously, spoilers if you haven't seen Fight Club, look away now, because the narrator turns out to be Tyler Durden, and they're part of the same consciousness, and it's him basically having his most idealised form. And all throughout the film, David Fincher, the absolute gangster that he is, I was going to say...
Never had the term gangster in David Fincher.
Gangster. I was going to say G, and I was like, you know what, I'll give him the full title, Gangster. David Fincher, the absolute hero that he is, seeds all the way through the film all these little clues that things aren't as they seem, and that the narrator is unreliable, and takes Chuck Palahniuk's novel and absolutely turns it into a visual art feast for the eyes, where you can pick apart everything and see what he's trying to say before it ever gets said. So what I want to do is be able to like regress myself, take away all of the memories of it and watch it and see if I could actually pick up on this time around, because I feel like I've seen so many films, it's been so many years of film watching that has led to me watching Fight Club for the first time, for the second time again. Like, I think it would just be a really cool experience to be able to have that whole feeling again, because when I did watch it the first time, it absolutely blew my mind. So to be able to get that experience again and feel so surprised and invested and like I discovered something so wonderful and new would be great. And also like a bit of an ego moment, just to be like, yes, I spotted this clue, I saw the twist coming. Like, I'd like to be able to see if I could do that, like I could put my skills to the test, you know what I mean?
Do you know what the funny thing is though, is that if in this theory you wiped your mind at this day and age, 2019, we're going around to people and we're like, hey, I figured out the twist of Fight Club. It's like, that was nearly 20 years old.
Yeah, well, there we go. I've tried, at least. I've tried. But yeah, no, it'd be the same again. Literally 2019, we were like, have you heard of this small film? I don't know if you have. It's Fight Club? But yeah, that'll be me again, literally past repeating itself. But yeah, Fight Club, I'd love to be able to see again. I think it'd be a good experience.
Well, it's less a movie moment and more an entire franchise, if I'm perfectly honest. Hello again, comment section. Yes, I'm saying I want to delete all of the Lord of the Rings from my memory, because I just want that time back. It's like nearly 10 hours I invested for these people to mope around and just run around the New Zealand countryside and just talk. Stop talking so much. There is good bits. There's the "you shall not pass," that's obviously good, and Sean Bean dying, that's always good in every film. But there's just Sam and Frodo just pissing about and just get on with it. Like, and they just chuck it in a river or something. That eye's crap. I can't even see it really anyway until you put the ring on. It's just rubbish. And and also, right, okay, I'll tell you what, I'll do you a deal. I'll accept all of the films, all of them, put my ring on, just all that, right? I'll accept all that if it has to be a moment. The like 12 endings, why doesn't the film just end at the end? Like he has the fight with the Gollum and he chucks him in the fire and the ring, they do the thing with the ring, and then Sam saves him, is that right? Yeah, Sam saves him, and then you get all the homoerotic literature and stuff like that, right? And then, why isn't that the end? And then they go, hey, everyone's back together, it's all good, we did it in the end. And you go, okay, all right, it's okay, time to, okay, we've got to go back to the Shire, right, fine, back you go. And then they still don't, and then Sam's got a kid and a family, it's like years. I don't need to know what happens after that. They got rid of the ring, it's the Lord of the Rings, the ring is not a thing anymore. Just end the film, and that's not even the extended cut, the extended's like 10 hours. Jesus Christ. Got a lot to answer for, Peter Jackson.
The thing with this is, and saying this comes with such a wave of backlash, And my genuine answer, which is, I'm going to do something else because I know everyone's going to hate this. It's Luke throwing the lightsaber away in Last Jedi. I hated it. I effing despise it. I hate it. It's throwing away the fandom. I've never felt so gutted in a film ever. Just sitting watching that happen and just never really recovering from it for the rest of that movie. Just watching my fandom for a lore that I love, for a fiction, a franchise that I adore, just being tossed over his shoulder. That would be my actual genuine answer. But you can't do Last Jedi just cause, so it's fine. My other thing would be all the comedy in Marvel, because I hate every single time they cut a scene in half just to have a nice little joke and not let you actually feel anything. They have to undercut it every single time to make sure that they know that, like, you know, oh, don't take it too seriously. Don't actually get involved in any of the storylines. Don't actually get involved in any of the characters. You know, we're all just having a laugh and it's fine. Not to turn into Martin Scorsese, but at the same time, like, just commit to a bit. You don't have to undercut it all the time, Ash Millman, and it really annoys me. And so the first time they did it in Iron Man 3, I was kind of like, oh, that's gonna be funny, you know, because they had the whole thing with Trevor Slattery and whatever. And then just ever since then, it was all over Doctor Strange, and it's in all their little movies where they can't just have a little moment and just let us believe and enjoy and, you know, indulge in those stories, because we're going to enjoy those fictions and just stay true to it. You don't need to undercut it all the time. So I would remove every single joke from every single Marvel movie from the Avengers onwards.
The bit in The Departed where he says, just kill me, and he goes, I am killing you, but then somebody kills him, and he just blows Leonardo DiCaprio's head all over the inside of the lift, because very, very unmoving when I come to watch films. I'm like, oh, that's nice, that's a thing that's happened. That's the only time a film's ever done something, and I've like, you know, when there's like, you get a pull focus in your own life, and like the Vietnam like music starts playing, and you hear all the flashbacks. Like, I genuinely zoned out with the film for a solid 15 minutes after that, because it shocked me so much. I wasn't even looking at the screen, I was sort of looking just off like that for 15 full minutes. I had to go back and watch the last half hour of the film after that scene, because I had no idea what the scene after it was, what happened after. By the time I came to, like, Mark Wahlberg is in Matt Damon's apartment. Like, it did that for me, so I had to go back and watch it. No film has ever done that, and I've never been able to recreate that moment of silence or solitude. And I want it back. I want to live that again. I want to know what place it sends me to. I want to reach back into the darkness and find that part of myself I was channeling. So I need to forget that they blow Leonardo DiCaprio's brains all over the inside of the lift so I can enjoy it once more. That's what I need. That's what I want. It was a dark place, but I liked it.